Okay, my name is Russ Field, one of the admins of the co-op, and it is 7:02 on this wonderful Thursday. I think it's February 7th evening. And what I'd like to do is welcome everyone to this week's leadership training call. I'm going to go into a little bit of celebration first, then a little bit of training and have some announcements. And we'll be done in about 18 and a half hours. So I hope you got your babysitters ready and on hand. It's going to be a long one tonight. No, I'm going to be done in about 30 minutes or so. And let's have some fun. If you have some notes, we're definitely going to take questions and answers afterwards. And we will go from there. So let's get started. Okay, well, congrats to every single individual who's on the call, as well as all of you who consider yourself leaders, who are out there burning sometimes the midnight oil. I know a lot of us have professions that we go to during the day, and this is something that you do from an auxiliary point of view at night. And we just got to high five you right through the computer here. We just passed 13,200 members since our soft launch that started on December 6th. So we're at about 62 days here, 13,200 members joining the co-op in that amount of time. That is something that is super exciting. So make sure you give yourself a big, huge high five for that. That's wonderful. Okay. And our gold rush, something we ran last month from really about January 7th, which was our launch, to about February 2nd. What we wanted to do is see how many golds that we could help get to the point where they would, get into the gold tier and start to make a little bit of extra, little extra contributions. And as of this morning, we just passed 1,720 golds out of those 13,000 individuals. So big, big kudos to you for stepping up and for getting your first couple silvers in, and then helping your couple silvers go silver, or putting in, over 6 people yourself, because that would certainly fill up your inner and outer success target ring. So that is absolutely fantastic. Way to go. Super excited about that. Okay, so there's a breakdown of all of our different levels. So at silver, we have 9,600, gold, a little over 1,700 there, emerald, 580, diamond, 290, and crown, 45. There's actually about 160 crowns. But what I do when I look at these numbers is I look at the crowns who are earning on more than one tier, and then I count those up every week and put that number in there. So that's something that's super exciting, and you guys are doing a fabulous job. You just keep growing and growing and growing. Okay, it's tune-up time. So what does this mean? So we're gonna do a little bit of training here, and it's very important when you're in a position to sign a new individual up. Every person you sign up, please spend 5 or 10 minutes with them. Open up that back office with them and show them the little red icon, which is a play icon on the dashboard, on the menu system to the left when you open up your back office. And each one of these little menu items here are actually icons for a video. And what we've done is we've gone in and taken videos of each specific menu item and what is involved in that. So what this means is this: if you're a person who's going to build this and you're kind of like a hub of information and people are coming to you all the time, it's really important that you really think ahead of how big your business is going to be, and you kind of think, you know what, do I want to be the hub of information all the time, where at all time of day and night, because this is a global opportunity, people are calling me and asking me about what's the social media center, where do I find my, how do I change my email address, or where do I find people who are in my business, or how do I use the project or use the Mobilize site builder? All of those things have been answered, and all you need to do is just, instead of being the tool, promote the tools. And what we're doing is we're doing everything we can to continually bring you more tools that will ultimately help you build this and give you back your time. So ultimately we're becoming more of a push button type business for you. So we're going to give you those tools, whatever they are, from marketing to social media to management, so that you can build your contributive community to the point where whatever project you have can get funded and funded quickly. So please, please take the time when a new person comes in. Tell them to watch there's only about 22 minutes of videos. By the time we're said and done, we'll bump that up to about 30 minutes. We've got some more videos. There's some menu changes we're going to make in the next couple days where we're going to put in like the V card and stuff like that under a marketing tab, rapid funnel under a marketing tab. So we're going to clean this up a little bit. And then once it's cleaned up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and make some more short videos so that what is actually involved in there, they can actually see it and understand what everything is used for. Okay, so very, very important you do that. The next thing is our YouTube channel. Now, our YouTube channel is very important because every time that we do a recording like I'm doing now, once it's done, I do a little bit of editing on it, and then we put it in our YouTube channel, and we also put it into your back office under Community Tool Chest, which we just actually integrated into the system in the last 48 hours. So what you want to do is you want to go into your dashboard and you see your upcoming webinar schedule. So all the different webinars are there. And let me just talk about the webinars really, really quick. You see all the tabs, you got blue and red tabs in front of us here. And the big arrow, of course, is pointing to the icon for YouTube. But if you look at the webinar schedule, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing from now on Monday nights, Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. Eastern are going to be leadership calls like what I'm doing now. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have overview calls where you can bring people and they can watch the video and get your questions answered and go from there. Friday, we always keep it open. And then on Saturday, instead of having 6 Gold Rush back-to-back overviews, what we're going to do for this month is we're going to pare it down to 4. So that's going to be the webinar schedule moving forward so that you have the best opportunity to learn. So remember, if you can teach your people if you want, which is wonderful, and it's a great thing. However, if we're putting this together for you, what I'd strongly suggest is you get into this webinar schedule, teach your team to always know and understand what's going on with respect to the webinars for training as well as for overviews, and use and abuse it. That's what it's there for. Always plug your people into it and plug yourself into it, because whenever we're doing a business, because there's a lot of there's a lot of FUD out there. FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There's just FUD out in the ether, and this is a safe place where we have an opportunity to come together, figure out what our projects are that are important to us, and have an opportunity through the community and the coding that we've done at CG to put you in a position to be able to earn those contributions, to be able to get those projects done. This is a place that you have the hope, and I'm hoping that you're inspired by other people who are doing this and they have great stories, so that can help you to move on and to hit greater lengths in this. But what you really need a lot of the times is coming out and participating in the overviews and being part of that community, because we don't have very many people doing events yet. So because it's more of a kind of a cloud or an online company, it's really important that you get into this webinar schedule and you participate as much as you can. With that, in conjunction with that, you see the icons for Facebook. Really right now we're focusing on Facebook, our Facebook community. It's a closed group, by the way, and there's 2 questions for entrance into the Facebook closed group, and I administrate the ability for the access for people to come into that group. And what our goal is from a security point of view is there's a lot of people who come into groups and they're just spammers, and that to me is it just drives me crazy. I find it seriously unethical. It just to no end, because people spend their time and their energy and their money doing whatever business they are. So please, if you're part of CG, don't go into someone else's group who might be a home-based business, whatever it is they're promoting, and don't spam your link from us in there, because it makes you look bad and it makes us look bad. Now, if it's something that's generic and everybody's kind of posting their stuff, that's a whole other story. But if it's a very specific product or a service, especially if it's not a crowdfunding deal, whatever it is, no one in that team that's put that group together they don't want to see your stuff. And just like when you're, when you have new people coming to the Facebook group, and we're educating, we're supporting, and we're celebrating success, and we really want you to do that with your new people. Come on, hey, this person just got silver and came on, this person's gold. We actually have photos in the Facebook group that you can grab for gold, emerald, diamond, and crown, and you can grab the person's profile, put it together, and say, hey, everybody, my friend Joe just went crown. Why don't we give him a high five? And then people in the community can start to say, hey, congrats, that's fabulous, whatever. Take the time in the Facebook group to put yourself in a position to congratulate other people who are hitting, because one day the people who are going to be showing there are people on your team, and you want to make sure that if you're giving, that the community is going to give back with respect to how the law of reciprocity works. So please spend your time in the Facebook group. If you have questions pertaining to building everything that we have here at CG, you can certainly write those down. And as community members who have answers, please answer those, because as from the admin side, we can't be in there all the time. Now, getting back to the entrance into the group, there's two questions. They're very, very simple questions, and make sure you write these down so you can tell your team and say, hey, when you're joining when I'm going to add you to the Facebook group, there's going to be a place to write down answers to two questions. The first question is what kind of platform is crowdfunding guaranteed? Is it an equity platform? Is it a product platform? Or is it a peer-to-peer platform? Well, if you watch the 9-minute video, and this is generally how I know if people have an idea of what's going on here, is they'll get into, I'll go into the admin side of that, and they'll put in some crazy cockamamie answer that has nothing to do with equity or peer-to-peer or product. They'll put in, like, they'll just say yes. And to me, I'm like, did you even watch the 9-minute movie? Like, are people just willy-nilly adding people into our closed Facebook group? The closed Facebook group is for people who are paid contributors to Crowdfunding Guaranteed, and they're part of our co-op, not for free people, for people who've actually paid. So because we want that to be our kind of our cultural support mechanism, so it's very important that we filter and sort any people who might not necessarily be there for the right reasons. So the answer to the first question is what? It's peer-to-peer. And if you want to know that, watch the video on the front of the, on the home page, because it says peer-to-peer crowdfunding about 850 million times in that 9-minute video. It's amazing how much they got it in there. So it's unequivocally peer-to-peer. Number two is name one of the 5 admins. And that would be Joe, Russ, JC, or James, Simon, or Dan. Okay, now if you have an upline crown that helps us out a lot, like Mark Hamlin or Mr. Stewart or Ms. Stewart, or there's a bunch of different people that I've had an opportunity to get to know, and you put them in there because maybe they put them in there because they don't know the answer, then I'll usually approve them as well. So I do spend a lot of time every day, about an hour actually, in the process of emailing people back through Messenger saying, hey, what is the answer to this question? Because I can't approve you until I find out and make sure that you're actually a paid contributor to the co-op. Okay, so we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to be able to do that. So rapid funnel, lead generation, and V-card. Joe, I know your voice is a little bit messed up, but are we close on the V-card and getting that reintroduced into the back office?
It's been done. It's in the back office. It's workable. It has been since last week.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, there we go. So I guess I should click on that link and check myself. Please forgive me. Okay, well, I'm going to sign up for that tonight when I get off the call then, because I want to make sure I have that on my phone. So, okay, so V-card is up and ready. I know the lead generators are up and ready. And the last thing that I spent a couple hours today with the Rapid Funnel executives going through everything and getting Rapid Funnel done. There's just 1 or 2 little bugs we're working out right now. I do have Patrick Shaw, who's the founder of Rapid Funnel. He has 1 million people in his current networking business. The reason he built Rapid Funnel was to help his business grow from, a couple 100,000 to over 1 million people in the last 4 or 5 years. Rapid Funnel's phenomenal. I'm very, very excited to have an opportunity to be able to work with Pat on this, and we're going to have him on the Monday night leadership call. So you want to make sure that you get every single person that you can there. And what we've got to do on our end at CG is there's a page that I'm just putting together right now that I'm going to have to get the coders to put onto the marketing tab, so that it'll teach you how to properly get started and get your rapid funnel going. But I'm telling you, you're going to absolutely love it. Unfortunately, I tried to figure out a way to sync I'm an Android user, and I'm actually on a Macintosh right now. And unfortunately, the programs that I downloaded just didn't work well enough to be able to show you the actual app, because you could use Rapid Funnel on your PC or Mac on the web. However, it's really an application. It's really, really good. It syncs phenomenally with your contacts, and you're gonna love it. And I'll just talk about the flow for you, so you understand the flow. But basically, what happens? Let me just try something out here. Basically, what happens with the flow is you have the opportunity to be able to, here we go. Let me just minimize this. You have the opportunity to do a 1 minute webinar. Here we go. Let's just see if this will log me in. So remembering too much stuff. Okay, campaigns. We got this yet. 12 emails. Okay, let me just see here. Resources. Okay, good times. So what happens is when you look at this on your phone, of course, it's set up where it simply has 4 different sub-menu items. And the first menu item, I think, is something like pique their interest. And with that, what happens is it actually goes to a 1 minute. I'm pretty sure this should open this up. It's a 1 minute. Oh, whoops. No, where is that? Drip videos. Number 2, here it is, rapid funnel survey. Okay, good times. So it goes to a 1 minute survey. So how we're going to teach on this is just to simply say, now this is whether you're dealing with people who you already know that are in your phone, or if you're dealing with individuals that you purchase leads for. This works really, really good with leads. So what you do is you either purchase the leads or you sync this with your phone, whatever you want to do. It depends, because everybody's different, right? I'm going to do both. But what the cool thing is you can simply go to a person and say, hey, what do you know about crowdfunding? Well, I know about Indiegogo, or I've heard about, some of the other ones, whatever it is, but I don't really know much. And all you just say is, hey, would you be cool enough to take my 1 minute crowdfunding survey? And then there's just some simple, pretty much yes or no questions. And at the bottom, what happens is those individuals, they put their information, their email address, and their phone number. And when they press submit, the really cool thing is we actually have 11 videos that we've put together. And let me just, I'm just going to click on video number C. And then what happens is the videos come in. Let's just watch this for a sec.
Not all crowdfunding is the same. So what should you be looking for when you're wanting to crowdfund your project or idea? How about a crowdfunding platform where 100% of all the contributions are paid out?
Okay, so what we've got is we've got 11 peak interest or sizzle videos that are all about 30 seconds to a minute long. That are going to be going out. Now, they're going to go out over a month, but the first 5 videos are going to go over the first 5 days, and then video 6 or email 6 is going to be dripped out about 3 or 4 days after that, and then 3 or 4 days after that. Now, typically what we would do if we were developing an email campaign for a drip system is we develop it over several months. However, that's for products that or businesses that people are starting that are typically costing several hundred to several $1,000s. Because this is only $29 one time out of pocket, it didn't make sense to create a long-term sales cycle when this is really just takeout for a couple people from a local restaurant. So what we wanted to do is basically have it very, very compact, you know, and get people to the point where they'd want to make a decision quickly. Now, if someone gets this email, what happens is every time they watch one of these videos, points actually happen, and they get and those individuals get points into the content management system. So once over 40 points is accrued, then they turn into a flame comes up and they turn into a hot prospect, which is really, really cool. So that's the really cool thing about this, is that this does all the work for you. So all you have to do is just pique someone's interest and say, hey, you know what do you know about crowdfunding? You got any projects you want to get funded this year? Because there's this innovative platform. You got to check this out. Here, why don't you take my 1-minute survey? Boom. Take the survey. Next thing you know, they put in their information, and then from there, next thing you know, is they're getting these drip videos in them. And of course, they can contact you if they want, which is over on the right-hand side, and they can click watch overview now, or if they want, they can click join now, which will go right to your personal URL so that they can join right underneath you in crowdfunding guaranteed. So the cool thing is everything, you know, these are actually kind of like little landing pages in on their own, so that you can use this as a long-term drip system, which is really cool. So what I wanted to do is just kind of show you that. Now, what Pat's going to do is he's going to come in, because he's the founder, of course, and CEO of Rapid Funnel. He makes over $1 million a year with his networking business. He's got over 1 million members in his networking business who use this. They've signed up hundreds of companies. This is the preeminent tool, and it's I think it's between 15 and 20 bucks a month. I think there's a $1 start for it, or you can get the first 10 days for free. But at the end of the day, you know, if you're an individual who's purchasing leads, how I would attack this if I was purchasing a lead is that I'd have the lead in front of me, and I'd just call them up and say, you know, hey, Sid, my name's Russ. You actually don't know me from Adam. However, your name just came across my desk a couple days ago. You were looking for businesses online, and your name got passed to me. I just wanted to see if we're a match. Are you still looking? Yes or no? So my goal when I talk to someone is to filter and sort to figure out, is this person ready and willing to do something? Are they ready and willing to put themselves in a position where they're A, going to pay, and B, put themselves in a position to actually get to work? Because I'm in a lot of chat groups, and I see a lot of people having challenges putting people in. And if you follow the systems that Joe has put up in our success training in the back office, you're going to be in a position to be able to see, you know, how to build this systematically. And you build everything systematically, and I don't care what business it is, but you build it by building a list and then introducing that list, you know, from, you know, to your presentation by sharing it. So the cool thing is with this share, it's a very simple, hey, you know what, want to take my 1-minute survey? Why don't you check it out? And then they check it out, boom, the emails come like, hey, this is pretty cool. Next thing you know, you're talking about what their project is. What is their project? So getting back to Sid, I'd say, Sid, is this a match? Yes or no? And they might say, no, I don't remember doing that. Well, hey, you know what? Thank you very much. You have a great day. Keep warm. It's really cold in North America. Now, if they said, yeah, that's really cool, I'd say, you know what? All you need to do is I'm just going to confirm your email address and your phone number here. Super. I'm going to text you over right now a 1-minute survey, and I'd like you to take it. It's just about crowdfunding. And from there, you're going to get some emails that are going to show you this innovative platform that's really helping me pay for my daughter's elite volleyball season, which is worth several $1,000s. So I'm going to send that over to you now. And then what's going to happen is now the system is going to take over. And every time Sid goes into those emails that comes in, there's going to be more points awarded. And as those points are awarded, then Sid is in a position to, you know, get a phone call back from you to say, hey, you know, I'm ready to go. Another really cool thing about this is we're going to be integrating a rewards program for you. So all of the users of Rapid Funnel who are CG members, you're going to be in a position, we're going to initiate a rewards program, because a couple dollars every month of the actual cost of utilizing the system is going to go towards a reward system. So when you do your daily income producing activities that are ultimately going to lead to profit for you, we're going to reward you. So what we've done is we've gamified the daily income producing activities through this. So anyways, so we're going to launch this full bore on Monday night with Pat. You want to get every single person on your team to that call, because probably most of us haven't had an opportunity to spend any time with an individual who not only has 1 million members on his team alone, but also makes well over 7 digits a year, year over year, and is also the founder of this. And he loves what we're doing here as well. So he'll spend probably about 15, maybe even 30 minutes with us in the beginning of our leadership call on Monday night. So I wanted to make sure that you guys did that. Now, looking at this, this is our community tool chest. So we loaded this up about 48 hours ago. And basically what this does is this has all the different videos that we're going to need. Now, the cool thing about this system is it's dynamically programmed based on your level that you have hit in CG. So if you're an individual who is a gold, you notice we see gold and above calls. Well, from a leadership point of view, we've actually done a whole bunch of gold calls. So they're there. So if you want to go back and freshen up, or maybe send this out to some of your new golds so they get a good understanding of what's going on in the back office and how we've progressed, from soft to pre-launch to launch, that information is certainly there for you. So Joe does a fabulous job of goal setting. How do you set goals? Just click here to press play. What about steps to success training? Well, we have a full video here. We have a smaller video that's just about 20 minutes long. And then we have a bunch of, what we've done is Joe's gone in there and cut them all up into little 3 to 5 minute pieces for you as well. So when people come in here and they go, hey, and they could be in social media and they go, hey, I don't know how to do anything here. I'm new to this kind of thing. You go, hey, you know what? Go to your tool chest. It's right in the bottom corner. Go to your community tool chest and click on it, and then start watching those training videos, because that is how you're going to learn. Remember, everything we do, we don't teach people to do the minimum. We don't look for people who do the minimums. When I build teams, I never, ever, ever look for people who do the minimums. Now, I could look for people who've never done home-based business before. I could look for people who don't even have a suit. I could look for people who dig ditches for a living. But what I'm looking for inside that person is the ability for them to do a couple things. Number one, they have the want to learn something new, right? That means they don't know everything. They're like, I'm an open book. If someone would teach me how to drive a BMW, then like how to be able to own one of those things, then man, I'm an open book. I'll learn how to do that. If someone, so I want a person who's teachable. I want a person who's coachable. I want a person who has, if possible, influence, but a lot of people don't have influence. So how do we help them get influence? And the only way to get influence if you don't have it is 2 things. Number one, you've got to learn to earn. Readers are leaders, because you have to learn. And number 2 is you got to roll up your sleeves and you have to get to work. And the one thing I promise you, as you can tell by maybe the tiredness in my voice or the fact that Joe's voice hasn't been working for the last 4 days, is the administrators of the co-op, we will be with you lock in step by step, with you in the trenches, doing whatever we can to be able to help you move your business forward by providing these tools for you. So you want an overview to send to someone? Here's our full overview right now. If you just want to send the Fund Me to Infinity plan, that's 5 minutes long, here it is. You can press play here. You can grab this right off the link right off of YouTube, and you can send it to them. Or maybe you're meeting with someone and you say, hey, look at this nifty back office. Everything I need to build my business is right here. So everything you want to know. If you want to know how the Fund Me plan works, well, here's a 10-minute video on that. So we're going to continue to add to this leadership call. We'll have a leadership series that'll be there. Our launch call from January 7th. If a new person's coming on board, maybe you want to click this and say, hey, go in your back office and watch that launch call. Because whatever business you're doing, you've always got to put yourself in a position to be learning. Okay, so let's go on to the Fund Me to Infinity plan. So if you go in your back office and you're a gold or above, you have the option to put yourself in a position to click. There's a Fund Me to Infinity. You notice the red circle here. Actually, let me press play here. You notice the red circle here. It says Fund Me to Infinity. You click on that. You just need to click on enable. And now we had an original grace period for 5 days. However, we've had a ton of people email in and say, hey, can you extend the grace period to Sunday, this Sunday at 12, basically 11:59, p.m. So going into Monday morning, wherever people are globally. So what we've done is we've certainly heard everybody's ask with respect to that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to allow people to upgrade because the date was actually today. We're going to extend it for a few more days for those last kind of stragglers coming in. So so if you're a person who's a gold and you have golds on your team, I'm telling you, you want to be in a position to teach your people how to be able to understand why the Fund Me to Infinity plan is something which is awesome. Now, the difference between CG and everybody else in the marketplace is simply this. Everybody else in the marketplace has a cycler or a matrix type of compensation plan, which is our Fund Me compensation plan. They're all generally the same, which is wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that. But those compensation plans are geared towards people getting paid really, really quick, which is awesome. And they're also geared to that only the first couple levels are actually going to be in a position, the first 2 to 4 levels are all going to be in a position to have anything to do with the amount of contributions you can make. Now, if you're looking longer term, okay, now let's not look about the $75 that you need this week. Let's think about our dreams. Let's think about that car we need, or maybe we need to fix the roof on our house, or maybe we need a new house. Maybe it's a vacation place. Maybe it's a charity that you need to help. Maybe you need to build a school in Mexico or in Africa, or who knows? There's a million different reasons for projects that we need to get done. At the end of the day, if you're going to be serious about this and you're going to build this, it's really important that you understand the fact that we are the only company out there that actually has 2 pay plans that are very, very different. But the pay plans work synergistically together, and this is simply how. The 2x2 cycler, it's great because people make money fast, and that's a wonderful thing. But also what happens is you're only in a position to really make on the first, level 1 to level 4, depending upon how compression works. Every once in a while, people do things or don't do things. Now, that's wonderful. However, if you're looking to fund bigger projects, then what you need to do is you need to look at the Fund Me to Infinity plan. So when a person's gold, which means they personally put in 2 silvers, and they have their first 6 positions on their inner and outer success target filled on that first success target, now they're gold. Now you've got some extra money in there, and what's going to happen is you want to be in a position to start to teach your people to do the same thing. Because in the Fund Me Infinity plan, when you have 4 people who are individually enrolled by you, what happens is you get a 20% override of what they do to infinity when they come into the Fund Me to Infinity plan. For the people who get 7, and we teach people to get 8 because it's 1 more, but there's a 40% override. So that means if you're helping someone come in and they're making, let's say you have 3 or 4 people are making $1,000 a week. Well, what happens is if they're with you and Fund Me into Infinity, and you're a person who has the 40% match, you would be making an extra 400 times those 5 people who are making 1,000 every single week plus. And the coolest thing is because they're doing more, because they're not just doing 2, they're doing 4 or 8. How much more money are you going to, or contributions are you going to make on the Fund Me plan? You're going to make 2 to 4 times more on the Fund Me plan. So they work synergistically together. So we have a legacy type mindset or strategy when we develop the company or we develop the co-op right from the beginning, so that you just weren't in something that it was like, okay, here's something that's fresh, let's go into this one, and oh, it's only $29, let's go into this one. Our goal is to give you the tools and the ability and the resources so you can start to learn as an entrepreneur, and we can teach you how to properly build a business from home utilizing both the Fund Me plan and the long-term Fund Me to Infinity plan. So as a leader, as your team grows to 3, 5, 10,000, you're making $100,000 to $300,000, depending upon how it all shakes out in your career path in that calculator. that's in your back office. So it's very, very exciting. We're the only company that has it, and it's totally proprietary to us, and I doubt anybody else is going to think long enough down the road to be able to do something like that, because most companies, what they're doing is they're allowing people to get into multiple tiers and multiple centers, which ultimately will lead to people complaining to governor generals in different states because they're spending over $300, and that will ultimately put a big target on everybody else in the marketplace's back. So keep it simple, but the thing is by keeping it simple, it's not about doing the least. Keep it simple, but learn how to put yourself in a position, utilize the tools so that you can build something that's ultimately going to last, but you're going to be teaching people the skills and the abilities to be able to grow. So that's something that's really exciting. Okay, I just went over to that. And then so February 2nd to March 30th, our Gold Rush. Well, Monday, leadership training. We talked about this. We're 2 times daily. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 2 times daily for our webinars. Our Saturday Gold Rush, there are 4 Blitz overviews in a row, and that's going to be starting at 10 p.m., 10 p.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., and 1 p.m. Eastern. So 4 hours in a row, 4 overviews in a row. So we'll do the overview, then we'll have some, do some questions and answers, and then go from there. So at the end of the day, what are you going to do with respect to your contributive community?